Good morning. Today is March 14th. Tomorrow, the state of Connecticut is entering into a semi-lockdown period like a lot of other states because of COVID-19. And one of the things that is not potentially affected is individual exercise like hiking and such, so I should still be able to do these. I just thought I would mention that. Our plan for today is to go down the backside of the mountain in the local vigilance area, and we are going to have a look for sign down there in an area that I haven't spent a lot of time in before, so potentially new territory, and that's what's on the agenda for today, so we're going to get moving. And we're gonna kind of make our way. This looks like at one point it was an ATV trail or something, but it's been reclaimed by the trees. But we're gonna kind of zigzag our way over. You got to kind of be careful too because of I don't know if I'm getting that on the camera. There's like little parts of the foundation that are not as obvious, and I could see where you could kind of twist your ankle in there if you're not paying attention. So we're walking by that, you got to be a little careful. But there's somebody back here. We're going to take a break. We're back. We are on the back side of local vigilance and heading into an area that I haven't been into for over about 2 months. And basically looking for sign as normal and the like. It started out being chilly. It's kind of warmer back here, or the sun is coming up and there's more heat either way. But yeah, so as of, they didn't say an exact time, but tomorrow evening, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are going into a semi-lockdown mode. Well, not lockdown, they're not calling that to freak people out, but they're to avoid freaking people out. But they are closing down all non-essential businesses, which means that things that will be open are grocery stores, banks, gas stations, pharmacies, auto repair shops, I would assume, because people need to get their cars fixed, and hardware stores. So things like malls, retail, that kind of thing are not going to be open for, they didn't say how long. I got to go back and read the actual order again. I don't know how. They probably don't have a specific time on it either, which is not going to help people's perceptions, but the situation is, as they say, evolving, so they don't know. As of last night, Connecticut had 196 infected, 4 dead. All basically meeting the demographics, though, of folks that are older with other conditions too. So I guess my best advice is, if you have it and you're not doing so bad, stay the hell away from old people, because they don't need it. And Nobody wants to kill grandma, so don't. I do some scaling here real quick. Getting down this is going to be interesting. But I think I've done a video here in the not so distant past. There's like an old house foundation over the bend here and then a meadow. We're going to try to maneuver to the backside of the meadow and see what's a little further in and see what's going on in there. One thing that'll be interesting once we're under lockdown, people get a little stir crazy. How many folks are going to get out and get hiking? How crowded will the woods get in certain areas? It's basically why I'm glad that I know some very out of the way places that are not going to be crowded, because most people, when tick season begins, and we're in it now, don't like the bushwhack. They don't know the wonders of modern permethrin, which does work very well. And everything I'm wearing today has been treated with it, so any luck that trend will continue. But so rather than climb back down, I'm thinking I can kind of parallel over there to get to the back side of the meadow, which is right around the bend here. And have a look a little further in while keeping an eye on widowmakers. It is rather windy again today. And interestingly enough, here you have these sticks right here that are evidence of beaver activity. There's actually a lot of them. That's how you know it's a beaver meadow over there, because the number of sticks that are like that are many, and they're all about the same size too. So that's what they would have used to make their dam and or lodge. There's the house foundation right there, and we're back. Nice chat with a couple of folks that are hiking. I'm actually surprised they were out here. I've never seen people out this far before. But they are local to the town, so it stands to reason they might know some of the spots I do. Trying to find the best way to get over there. I want to get down into the meadow, but this way is kind of a pain in the ass. I'm looking for a better way. They can just cross over this thing over here and get into the back side of this and kind of have a look at the greater area. I usually come in from this side. So yeah, looks like we can come over on this side and kind of make it easier, cross over the stream. But oh, that's dicey. That's like not as solid as it looks. Okay. But with any luck, I don't have a horrible accident there and break my legs. That would suck. That would certainly suck. But let's get over into this over there. I'm going to kind of go around these trees. And it'll hopefully open up a little bit. Nice spot. So this used to be a pond, but it sort of dried up, leading me to think the beavers have moved on, but kind of have a stream through here. And I'm not going to get too far into this, only because hard to tell how. I see a lot of water down there. I don't really. Let's If you can see that, there's a lot of water down there when you get up into this stuff. But we're going to kind of parallel the backside of this thing and get over into there and just kind of explore this area for a little bit. It's an interesting bit of terrain though, because you get all this rockiness in here, which kind of breaks up the rest of the normally like soft piney stuff. But we're going to try to get around that bend over here and get to the back side of the pond, or former pond at this point. More meadow at this point, but there's kind of a way through here, it looks like. Maybe a moose came through here and cleared some of this out. It would not be the first. There's a pseudo stick structure for the structure crowd. Let's go have a look at that. Basically a pile of sticks, but trying to avoid face-to-face contact with potential tick-bearing branches. So there's this, which pile of sticks, not really much more to it. So we're going to move on and kind of zigzag back over around this big tree here, which is a large tree. Got a couple of big pines in here. Make our way back over towards the back side of the pond right here. The odds of finding tracks in this lovely soft pine needle stuff, probably nil. Still kind of very surprised I found people back here, because that's a first. I kind of thought this was my own little spot. Oh well. But I guess you can get down in here. Trying to find the path of least resistance, kind of get to the water's edge here. Such as it is. Alright. Woodpecker living in that tree right there. So, a lot of this flattened out. I think I found moose tracks. Hold on. Trying to zoom, hold on. Sorry. For some reason the zoom is like very... I don't want pan mode, I want zoom. Anyway, there's like potential moose tracks in here. Why won't you zoom? Camera troubles in the middle of nowhere. Everything else works. Why not zoom? Alright, anyway. Down here in my shadow, and well, here's one. The stride is seemingly moose-ish. Could be a deer. It's in the mud, so it's kind of hard to tell, so we're going to just kind of walk along. Could have been those two that just walked through here too, for all that matter. But most of this seems like it's fairly, reasonably dry. Keyword reasonably. And rather than walk through all the trees, this seems to be a simple enough way to get into that section over there potentially. But let's navigate over this way. Yeah, there definitely are moose or deer coming. I think they're deer tracks now. The size aren't really lending to moose. But just to give you a wider pan. Sorry about that. This is sort of where we are. Little bird over there to my right. Basic songbird. Not sure the species though. My buddy Bill would have been. He's a birder. He would know. Okay, this is not quite as dry. So that would have been the pond part over there. More of that. And so, happenings in the Bigfoot community. I think we're entering into a quiet period with all the COVID-19 lockdown stuff going on, if I'm guessing. See if I can walk through this to get around there, because the pine trees get a little thick right there. Doesn't seem like it's overly deep, just kind of wet. So I don't know. It's the one point of controversy, semi-COVID related, is there talk of the Oklahoma Bigfoot Symposium. They try to make it sound all hoity-toity in Oklahoma, but it looks like my feet will get wet, but regardless. But with the whole point of people not being allowed to have gatherings more than 10, this is a gathering more than 10, so yeah, that's about what I thought. I'm either getting my feet wet or I am backtracking over here to find the least sinky kind of place here. Alright, that's reasonable. But is that really a responsible thing to do? Yeah, you know, have a convention where you're getting a bunch of potential COVID victims together. Bigfooters tend to be a little bit older too, so they're potentially in that demographic where you really don't want it. I certainly don't want it. But then again, I've never really done conferences past a point. So now we're kind of on the backside of this thing. And I'm wondering if I want to get away with a drone launch in here, because I don't really have to go that high. And being down in a dip, I think we're likely capable of avoiding a lot of the wind. Kind of get a nice aerial view of this spot here. I might do that. I was thinking I was going to be able to, but... And then up in here it opens up a little bit, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break and get up into this stuff over here, because it opens up a little bit so I can cover a little bit more ground. But we're going to come back through here, and we are going to possibly get the drone in the air over this little pond here for the air. Oh, Jesus. I was going to balance on that to get over that, and it just told me no in the most brazen of ways. How am I doing this? Looks like that's solid, so we do that. Salad, funny. Anyway, let's get up into this stuff briefly. And some of this is kind of reminiscent of Vermont for as far as the terrain and the like swampy, muddy, mossy stuff that's like walking on a waterbed. Weird feeling. But let's continue. Trying to find the least little branchy way through, but it doesn't seem like it wants to cooperate, so I just have to keep an eye on the tick situation. But there we go. Okay, now it opens up. Right next to one of those old-timey New England stone walls. But yeah, so I guess one comment to be made is how many conferences are going to go on with COVID being a thing to keep people away. One would think the responsible thing to do would be to just keep people away. But so the wind is kicking up again. Doesn't seem that bad down here though. Worse on the hill. Because right now we're just for the sake of like a landmark or to get to the high meadow. It's literally high, as in up that way, walking about maybe not a complete mile, but close to a mile uphill and doing some bushwhacking to get there. Not that it can't be done, just you go in the hard way though. So this opens up in here, and you can probably put a tent in here pretty easily too. But the hesitancy of like camping out here at night is there's enough wildlife around here. It's a smaller area than in Vermont. You definitely have a greater chance for having nighttime visitors. Bears, coy wolves, random hiker people. Although that's probably not the case, but I did say I was going to get up in here a little bit. I'm going to follow the stream. Kind of opens up in here, as like I said, as you can see. More loose leaf litter though, so tracking not so good. But kind of interesting from a non-botanist. It's like more piney on this side, and then it opens up into birch and stuff over here. So the types of trees change. Not sure why that is, but it is. And we can find a spot to cross here without soaking our feet. I might do that, otherwise we'll go back to the pond because there were some other areas that are potentially explorable today. But I guess that's kind of my goal. The thing about Vermont, if I sound hesitant to get up there, right now it's still a snow factor, but I'm wondering with all the COVID stuff if they're going to get to a point where they block off interstate travel. That would suck if they did. But if it got that bad, then it's that bad. But hopefully not. Actually, there's not really so much interesting stuff over there that's not the same as over here that we're not going to make our way back to the pond. Nice little stream though. And we'll put the drone in the air over here. Which means, of course, we're going to be taking a slight break for a minute once we get over here. Get back into the pond area. And actually, let's check out over here because it looks like you might cross this. I am thinking that a launch spot is probably best from that middle section we were in already, however. So we're going to backtrack, get back over there. So the segment will continue a little bit longer. I'm trying to think of anything else going on that's interesting. Not really having anything come to me though. There's any astounding goings on in the community right now. Like I said, I suspect it's probably going to slow down a little bit. which might be a good thing because it allows me to just like get out and focus on the job at hand, basically doing stuff like this. A couple of oddly growing trees over here, but beyond that, we're gonna cross the stream's wimpier cousin here and then get back down into the flat section here if it's dry enough, and we will attempt to put the drone in the air. Or are we on the wrong side of the stream here? We came in through here, although that way is easier. I'm going to go down this way and we'll chance it. Just more open, so it's easier. Need to determine how wet this spot is, though. If I can get over there, it's fine. It's just this middle spot looks kind of sinkish. Maybe not. It's deceptive. Not too bad. If I can get into that open area over there and not kill myself doing it. That area would be nice, because then you just get it up straight. You don't have to worry about the intervening trees. You can probably get back out through that way too if I can jump this. Deceptive though. I'll try over here. I just don't want to dump my camera into the weeds. I can just do it from over there. We'll do that. Okay, we're gonna take a short break now so I can find my launch spot, put the drone in the air and keep going. Just a quick update. Coming back up the hill, we came up behind some moose tracks, so we're coming in here quiet. There might be a moose in here. Probably not, but plenty of peepers though. Million and one peepers though. No moose. Yeah, it's open. Anyway.